This is the story of a boy who was never born into wealth, who had no fancy playgrounds or expensive shoes, and no powerful connections. But he had something far greater, a dream that would one day change the entire world of football. In a small city called Rosario, in Argentina, on June 24, 1987, a child was born, Lionel Andres Messi. No one could have imagined that this tiny boy would one day be called the greatest footballer of all time. From a very young age, Messi was quiet and shy. He didn't talk much. But whenever a football touched his feet, the world changed. The ball obeyed him. He didn't just play football, he danced with it. While other kids ran after the ball, Messi made the ball run after him. His eyes would light up. His feet would move like lightning, and the crowd, even if it was just a few kids in the street, would stop and watch in disbelief. Messi's father, Jorge Messi, worked in a steel factory. His mother, Celia, worked part-time as a cleaner. Life was simple and hard. But the one thing the Messi family had was faith in the boy's dream. At just 5 years old, Messi started playing for a small local club called Newell's Old Boys. Even among kids twice his size, he stood out. His movements, his balance, his vision, everything was extraordinary. People in Rosario started saying, "This boy has magic in his feet." But life is not a fairy tale. Every dream faces a storm. When Messi turned 11, the doctors gave his family devastating news. Lionel was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency. It meant his body would stop growing naturally. He would remain small, weak, and fragile. For a footballer, that was a death sentence. The medicine he needed cost nearly $1,000 a month, something his family simply couldn't afford. Messi's father went from hospital to hospital, from one football club to another, begging for help, but everyone said no. Most clubs admired Messi's talent, but no one wanted to pay for his treatment. They all said, "He's too small. He'll never survive professional football." Imagine that. You're just a child, with a dream bigger than yourself, and the world tells you you're not good enough. But here's what makes Messi different. He never stopped believing. Even when his body was weak, his heart was stronger than ever. He kept playing, kept fighting, kept training harder than anyone else. He didn't care if people said he was too short or too fragile. All he cared about was the ball at his feet. One day, fate finally opened a small door. Messi's family heard that in Spain, the club FC Barcelona had one of the best youth academies in the world, La Masia. They decided to take a chance. At just 13 years old, Lionel Messi and his father left Argentina and traveled more than 10,000 kilometers to Spain. They had no guarantee, no money, no promise, only a dream. At first, things didn't go well. Messi was quiet, nervous, and scared. He missed his home, his mother, his friends. He even thought about giving up. But when the coaches saw him play, everything changed. The small boy who barely spoke a word started speaking the language of football. The moment he touched the ball, the coaches froze in disbelief. They had never seen anything like it. The control, the balance, the speed, it was unreal. And then something incredible happened. Barcelona's sporting director, Carles Rexach, was so amazed that he took out a paper napkin in a cafe and wrote Messi's first contract right there on that napkin. That single piece of paper changed football history forever. Barcelona agreed to pay for Messi's medical treatment. The dream that was almost destroyed was suddenly alive again. Every night, Messi would take painful injections in his legs so his body could grow. But not once did he complain. He just kept training. He kept believing. He knew this was his one chance, and he wasn't going to waste it. He trained with older players, stronger boys, but he never backed down. And slowly, day by day, that small boy from Rosario started to become unstoppable. He was still small, but his dreams were gigantic. He was still quiet, but his game spoke louder than anyone else's. Lionel Messi had started his journey, a journey from pain to glory, from a little boy fighting a disease to a young man who would soon make the world bow before his talent. Because when the world said, "You're too small," Messi whispered back, "Wait till you see the size of my heart."